Fractions! This is part 2 of part 3. In today's lesson, students will learn how to subtract fractions with unlike denominators. Fractions with what? Very good. Okay, so yesterday we learned how to add fractions with unlike denominators. What do you think we're going to learn today? How to what? What's the opposite of addition? Subtraction. So today we're going to subtract fractions with unlike denominators. So let's go ahead and write the word subtract in the blank. Okay. To subtract fractions with unlike denominators, we're going to look at fractions that we used yesterday. 1/2 and 1/4. Okay. Do they have unlike denominators? Are the bottom numbers different? Yes. So we call them unlike denominators. This time we're going to try and subtract them. Can you subtract fractions when the denominators are not the same? Can you do that? No. Okay. So you have to actually make the bottom numbers the same. And here's how you do that. The first thing you do is multiply, write it, multiply the denominators. I'm talking about multiplying the bottom numbers, which is 2 times 4, okay? So when you multiply the denominators, then you can rewrite the fractions with the same denominator, okay? So what is 2 times 4? 2 times 4, remember from yesterday is? It is what? 2 times 4 is 8. Okay. Now remember, what's different about today is we're going to subtract these fractions. So you rewrite them, so you have 2 fractions now with the same denominator, okay, which is eighths. Now you can do cross multiply, okay? You're going to cross multiply. Remember, I want you to go ahead and start with the fraction that's on the right and multiply across. So I'm just going to draw an arrow real quick. So what is 4 times 1? 4 times 1. So 4 times 1 is 4, right? Yeah. Any number times 1 is that number multiplied by 1. 4 times 1 is 4, right? Okay, now let's cross multiply this way. What is 2 times 1? 2 times 1 is any number times 1 is that number multiplied by 1. So 2 times 1 is 2, right? Yes, Miss Cotran. It is. Okay. And now you can see why it's actually important that you started with the fraction that was on the right, because now we're talking about subtraction, and you have to have a bigger number to start with to subtract, or else you're going to end up with negative fractions. That won't be good. All right. So now that you cross multiply, what do you do to the numerators? What do you do to the numerators? Do you add them or what? What do? You subtract them. That's right, because we're talking about subtraction. If you want to circle the subtraction sign to help you remember to take away, then do that. All right, so now remember, if you have the same denominators, you can say it with me, say same, same, same. Say it, same, same, same. And 4 minus 2 is, you know, it's 2. Now this fraction is 2/8. All right. Can you simplify or divide? What does simplify mean? Simplify means divide. Could you divide both the numerator and the denominator by a number to make the fraction look smaller? Can you do it? Can you do it? Yes, you can. What do you divide by? What do you divide by? Are they both even numbers? Say, divide by 2. Divide by 2. Right, you're really dividing by 2 over 2, which really is 1. So you're not changing the fraction, you're just making it look smaller. What is 2 divided by 2? 2 divided by 2, any number divided by itself is 1. And then 8 divided by 2 is 2, 4, 6, 8. It's 4. So your new fraction and the answer simplified is 1/4. fourth. Go ahead and write that down. Okay, read the first example with me. It says 7/8 minus 1/3. Go ahead and write that down. 7/8 minus 1/3. Okay. So, do these fractions have common denominators? Are the denominators the same? No. Can we subtract these fractions? Okay? No, you cannot subtract fractions if they don't have common denominators. So we have to make them have like denominators. And how do you do that? What do? You have to multiply. So first multiply the denominators, and we're going to rewrite them. We're going to rewrite those fractions. What are we doing to these fractions? What are we doing to the fractions? We're subtracting these fractions, remember? Different from yesterday. So here we go. What's 8 times 3? 8 times 3 is 24, right? What's 8 times 3? 24. So now both of the fractions have a common denominator of 24. But we have to figure out what are the numerators. How do we figure out what the numerators are? We cross multiply. What do? Cross multiply. So then we're going to start with the fraction on the right. Got to start on the right. What do you start on? The right. Okay, if you start on the left, you're going to have a problem. Okay, so start on the right. 3 times 7 is, what's 3 times 7? 3 times 7 is 21. What is it? 21. Now we're going to cross multiply this way. 8 times 1. What's 8 times 1? Any number times 1 is that number multiplied by 1. So what's 8 times 1? It is 8. Very, very good. All right. So, do they have the same denominator now? Yes. So you can go ahead and say same, same, same. And now you want to subtract 21 minus 8. A lot of you forget to regroup. So I'm going to show you what that looks like. If I do 21 minus 8, I'll write it right here. 21 minus 8. Can I take 8 from 1? No. So if there's more on the floor, go next door, grab 110, right? This becomes a 1. Now this is an 11. 11 minus 8 is 3. Bring down the 1. Okay, so 21 take away 8, or count backwards, say 21, 20, 19, 18, 17, 16, 15, 14, 13. So 21 minus 8 is 13. So now I'm going to rewrite this fraction 13 24ths right here. And I'm going to ask you, can you simplify this fraction? Or can you divide the numerator and the denominator by the same number? Who thinks yes? Who thinks no? Okay. Why can't you simplify this? What's the problem? Tell me about the numerator. The numerator is what? It's 13. Now this is an odd number like we've talked about, but it is also prime. Well, what is a prime number, Ms. Cotran? What is a prime number? A prime number can only be divided by 1 or itself. So is 13 a number on the multiplication chart? Can you think of any two numbers that would multiply to give you 13 besides 1 times 13? So if that's the case, because this is prime and this is 24, you cannot divide 13 by any number, okay, besides 1, and therefore it is already in simplest form. Go ahead and write that down. Read the last example with me. It says 5/6 minus 2/3. Write it down. Okay. So, the first question you ask yourself is, do these fractions have a common denominator? Are the bottom numbers the same? No, right? How do you make them have a common denominator so you can subtract? What do? You multiply. You multiply the denominators and you rewrite them, okay? So we're going to rewrite these fractions. Remember, you're subtracting the fractions. What is 6 times 3? 6 times 3 is 18, right? What's 6 times 3? It's 18. So now both of these fractions are in 18ths. How do you get the numerators? You have to cross multiply, right? Cross multiply. Start with the fraction on the right. The fraction where? On the right. Tell me, what is 3 times 5? 3 times 5 is 15. Now let's cross multiply. 6 times 2. 6 times 2. What is 6 times 2? It is 12. Very good. Okay, are the denominators the same? So, you can subtract. Say same, same, same. And now you subtract the numerators. Here we go. 15 take away 12 is 15 take away 12. Come on, people. It is 3. Very good. You're really just taking 5 take away 2. All right? I'm going to rewrite this fraction down here. This is 3/18. Okay? I'm going to ask yourself, can I simplify this fraction? Think about it. Where are 3 and 18? Where is 3 over 18 on the multiplication chart? Let's look. So we're trying to simplify 3/18, okay? Simplify means divide. Okay, so look at the multiplication chart. Which column is 3 over 18? Where do you see 3 over 18? Why don't you look at column 3? In column 3, you have a 3. Do you have an 18? Yes. So 3 over 18, this is the factor. The factor is 3. If you divide by 3, 3 divided by 3 is 1. 18 divided by 3 is 6. So you find 3 over 18 on the chart, move all the way to the left, and simplified when you divide by 3, you get 1/6. So, again, divide the numerator and the denominator by 3 over 3, and your new fraction is 3 divided by 3 is 1, 18 divided by 3 is 6. So simplified, the fraction is 1/6. Write that down.